What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today, we have a lot to talk about. Very, very exciting. First off, we're going to talk about my interpretation of imminent adoption coming up. There's a lot going on, a lot. Whether it's organic growth or institutional growth, it is happening right now. Stay tuned because I tell you how we are going to experience this massive explosion in adoption of Bitcoin and decentralization. Stay tuned for that. Also, we go into Coinbase. Coinbase was valued at $8 billion, and they are talking about going public very soon. And so I tell you how you can potentially get involved in that if you want to own a piece of the first publicly traded crypto company. Stay tuned to check that out. Also, I'm going to give you some DeFi news. It's always good to stay up to date on the DeFi technology going on here. And near the end, I'm going to tell you about a massive altcoin opportunity that is right in front of your eyes. You have seen an increase in value 100% in the past week. I expect a little bit of retracement. I'll tell you when I would buy in, what's going on, a very important news event happening very soon, and when I expect it to go parabolic in value increase. That sounds exciting to you guys. Smash the likes, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and share this with your friends. Please, I would appreciate it. And lastly, before we get into the video, I just want to share something that's very important to me. It's very important to a lot of the crypto community. It's very important to the people of Thailand. And we are doing a charitable raise for the local people here who have been stuck here because of COVID. And please stay tuned to the end to find out how you can help with that. All right, guys, let's dive into it. Welcome back, everybody. We have a huge episode today. Look, this is making the case for why we're going to have massive mainstream adoption. Okay, now there's two ways that this is going to happen. One of them is going to be from organic growth. The other is going to be from institutions, governments, corporations, things like that, right? So the organic growth is like the viral approach, right? So this is the approach on where since 2012, I've been telling everybody I know about Bitcoin, right? And what happens, when I tell one person and they get excited about it, and they go tell 10 people, and those 10 people get excited about it, and those 10 people tell 10 people that they know, and they get excited about it. This is exponential growth that happens from one person who starts that chain reaction, right? So what's one thing that you can do to help us increase adoption of Bitcoin and decentralized systems? You can just go tell people about it, right? So, one of my friends, you guys probably know him, I've seen him on some of my videos before, Didi's whole goal is just to go tell people about Bitcoin so they can get excited about it and go get involved, go tell people, whatever, So today I'm going to make the case of why we're on the precipice. We are so close for this whole thing to just ignite, right? And when it ignites, it's going to be epic in so many ways. I mean, so many ways. Like I've been talking about before, as Bitcoin starts to challenge the central banks and fiat monetary systems, there's going to be massive pushback. And I'll talk about that in an article coming up. But there's a lot of things that are going to foster adoption. And it's very, very interesting how it's happening, because it's happening and the people who control the world, the globalists and things like that really control the world through the US dollar, are watching it happen and they don't know what to do about it. And this first article I'm going to talk about demonstrates how something that's happening in the regulated world, which typically doesn't allow massive disruption, also helps with disruption. So this first article says, SEC greenlights ARCA's Ethereum-based investment fund. Okay, SEC, super regulatory, greenlights a security token fund. And this is interesting, right? Because basically, and ARCA, I know the guys from ARCA. It's a good fund based in California. And they are doing this new fund based on this new format of the ERC 1404 standard. And what this does basically is it allows the issuer or of the token to do something like put a lock on the token, right? So often when a security is sold, usually at a discount to early investors and things like that, there needs to be a hold. And typically in America, that's about 12 months. So you can do things like with like say ERC 20 token, you couldn't do that. But on an ERC 1404, you can lock that token. So you can assign it to the individual who deserves it or bought it, and you can freeze it for 12 months, right? And that's important. That's super important to be able to do this. These are requirements for the SEC. So this 1404 protocol allows for that to happen. It also assures that when those tokens can be transferred from one party to the next, that each party is KYC and AML'd and whitelisted and able to be able to trade securities. And so this is also some other innovation. And what's really cool is this is going to be happening all in Ethereum public blockchain. So ARCA has been raising money for a securitized fund, a tokenized fund, and this is going to dramatically change the way that we do, say, like crowdfunding for projects, for example. Like, I do not like raising money through VCs. I think that method is antiquated. And, you know, what's a really cool way to raise money is allow your average investor to participate in investments, you know, and this isn't all the way there yet, but it's a good step in the right direction. In this article over here, it says, in the future, ARCA UST coins may be tradable on public, decentralized, or centralized electronic exchange platform that is registered with SEC as an alternative trading system, or ATS, although there's no guarantee as any such systems or platforms will be available. So here is a really interesting opportunity for you. And just a quick disclaimer, I am an investor in Coinbase. However, it has nothing to do with just this piece of news that came out. So Coinbase, as you may or may not know, was founded in 2012 and is one of the most well-known cryptocurrency platforms globally and has more than 35 million users. One of the sources that said that Coinbase, which was valued at more than $8 billion in its latest private fundraising round in 2018, is exploring going public via a direct listing instead of a traditional IPO. So what a direct listing is it just means that it still turns into a publicly traded company, but instead of having a huge fundraising round at a set price, it's just listed openly on the market, and the buyers have the opportunity to set the price of that asset. And so it's not really super relevant, but I wanted to mention this because if this happens, it is a massive validation, right? Coinbase makes almost all of the revenue off of Bitcoin services, right? Custody, exchange, things like that. And so if this happens, this will be like the first major company that goes public, and this would be huge for validation of our industry. It would say so much. And if this happens, like, not only am I bringing this up because I think it would really, really explode our reputation as a space, but also this will be a very, very good opportunity for anyone who's interested in investing in Coinbase. Coinbase, even though it's valued pretty high, it is a tremendous growth ahead of it. Growth ahead of us. Like, Coinbase could be the next like Amazon or something like that. Like, they can continue to grow. You know, Bitcoin, they're valued at $8 billion, and the whole entire Bitcoin space has such a small market cap right now, right? So I just want to bring that up to you guys. As I learn more, I will keep you informed. But I think it's a really, really good opportunity to pay attention to this and try to get in early when it does go public. Okay, so this is incredibly interesting. How Bitcoin is becoming both resistance money and a national security concern. So it goes on to say, in a little more than 10 years, Bitcoin grew from a small cypherpunk community to a matter of national security with vast implications for geopolitics. So I have been saying for a long time, you know, and you've seen it in my previous videos, that Bitcoin will be a threat to the basically national security of different countries, because what keeps a country in control of its country is controlling the monetary supply, and Bitcoin directly threatens that. So Bitcoin is set to play a role in the upcoming war for tech dominance, while at the same time acting as a key to digitally exit from government control. Ow, I just shocked myself from this microphone. That's that's one thing. If I touch it with my lip gets a little shock. Okay, so this is extremely interesting, and it goes in line with what my narrative has been. If you watch my previous videos, you know. So this article talks about how Bitcoin is becoming both resistance money and national security concern, right? So Meltem Demois and Andy Bromberg spoke at Unitize panel on the future evolution of Bitcoin and how geopolitics is beginning to enter the ecosystem. In a little more than 10 years, Bitcoin grew from a small cypherpunk community to a matter of national security with vast implications for geopolitics. At the Unitize panel, From Bitcoin to Fedcoin, the next decade of digital money, Meltem Demois, CSO of CoinShares and moderated by Andy Bromberg, president of CoinList, actually spent very little time discussing the boring idea of Fedcoin and the boring idea of central bank digital currencies. Instead, they focused on the implications of changing geopolitical landscape, where Bitcoin is set to play a role in the upcoming war for tech dominance, while at the same time they kept the key to digitally exit from the government control. Okay, so they go on to make some references on how like Amazon Web Services became the largest defense contractor, or like you guys all know the story with Huawei and how the United States is banning them from building infrastructure because it poses a national security threat. Like Huawei has incredible 5G technology, but we don't want them building it in the States. Well, actually, I don't care. But the United States doesn't want them building in the States because they're concerned for national security. You have this quote that says, "So I think 5 years from now, it would be very likely that 40% of Bitcoin mining, if not more, is onshore in the United States. It's very likely that governments will view big cryptocurrency networks as part of national security strategy." Bitcoin as resistance money. Speaking about stablecoins and especially government-issued digital currencies, Demois believes that in a completely different class from Bitcoin. I think right now what you're seeing is people are co-opting the idea and trying to implement it in different ways. Central bank digital currencies have absolutely nothing to do with Bitcoin. They are antithetical, right? So they're two totally different worlds. And I've been saying that again for a lot. Like you've got central bank digital currencies, private permissioned blockchains, kind of not really. And then you've got something open, public, permissionless blockchains that are actually for the people, by the people. So it goes on to say, in her view, saying that these systems are blockchain-based could be part of a deliberate misrepresentation of propaganda is starting to come to the industry. But at the same time, both Demois and Bromberg noted that central bank currencies could be an improvement to existing fiat infrastructure. She added, I think that different needs require different tools. At the end of the day, Bitcoin and all these other cryptocurrencies, digital fiat and other projects, they're just tools that we're trying to use to solve our problems. So before I go on to talk about the next quote or the next section, I want to talk about this issue of propaganda. So in 2018, there was a tremendous amount of propaganda that was infecting the space that I really didn't like. And it goes on a little bit to the last article I just talked about. So ICOs in nature are a beautiful thing, right? It allows anybody in the world who has an idea to raise money from anybody else who believes in that idea, whether it be $1, $5, or $1 million. It doesn't matter. Anybody without any type of KYC or AML or identity can invest in a project that they believe in, and allows that founder, instead of raising a ton of money from a VC who's going to take all the equity and decision making in that company, to raise a little bit of money from tons of people, which allows the founding team to remain in majority in control of how it develops. And they build a community by that, because you have tons of people who now believe in this vision and want to see it come true. I love the idea of an ICO. And then in 2018, central banks, globalists, the Fed, these guys just said, wow, what the hell is going on? What is this Bitcoin, this magic internet money, and what are these ICOs? It just kind of snuck up and bit them in the ass, right? And so propaganda started spreading from them, and it was ICOs are dead, security tokens are the new hot thing, right? And it didn't really take off yet, and I hope that ICOs come back, but they need to be dealt with in a different way, and I can go into that another time. But I want to talk specifically about the propaganda campaign. So basically, the only difference between an STO and an ICO, because there's nothing on a technical level, right, except for these new token protocol standards that we just talked about. But really, the idea is the same, right? It's to raise money for an idea and to do that through crowdfunding. So, and really, a token is a token. Whether you decide to call it a security token or utility token, you know, it doesn't matter, really, except for asking. So the one thing that is huge, basically on a security token, they want you to do two things. They want you to pay taxes and ask for permission. Imagine if Bitcoin asked for permission before it launched. Look at PayPal. PayPal tried to do that. They got shut down. They could not do that. So that was propaganda. This is propaganda happening now. So it goes on to say that in her view, the problem that Bitcoin solves is that of monetary systems choice. People who may be dissatisfied with the way system works have a few options to fight back. A dollar-based coins may solve some problems. They don't solve issues of financial censorship, financial control, and fundamental lack of privacy. Bitcoin is, according to her, the leading horse in becoming a form of resistance money. Thus, paradoxically, Bitcoin can be seen as both a matter of national security and a way of escaping it. Okay, next up, DeFi brings a lot of traffic to Ethereum, right? So DeFi boom almost doubles Ethereum active DApp users Q2 in 2020. Total transaction volume of DeFi DApps reaching an all-time high of $608,230,230.58 on June 21st, 2020, according to dapp.com. Ethereum increased its number of active DApp users by a whopping 97%, reaching an all-time high of 1,258,527, while a total of 4.9 billion was transferred via finance DApps, which is a 67% increase compared to Q1, with the total DeFi volume hitting $11.5 billion. At press time, Compound is the #1 Ethereum-based DeFi platform in the world, with a massive 655 million locked in its ecosystem as collateral, followed by Maker with 592 million, Synthetics at 323 million, and this is can all be found on DeFi Pulse. So we can see here just how much DeFi is exploding and how effective it is. It's insane, right? So Lightning Network, we've had Lightning Network for how long? How long we've had it? As of July 2020, Bitcoin locked in the Lightning Network is $9 million. That's insane. And Liquid from Liquid Exchange has 22 million locked in it, almost 23 million. DeFi is pretty new, and having Bitcoin on Ethereum is pretty new. But look how much, as of July, is now locked in the Ethereum network of Bitcoin. I mean, wrapped Bitcoin is very, very new, and there's already 100 million. It's like 5 times the amount locked that's in the Bitcoin network second layer solutions. So wrapped Bitcoin managed to capture 75% of that growth after moving more than 4,800 BTC to Ethereum last month. Demand has increased for using Bitcoin in a variety of decentralized financial services as Ethereum continues to be the most popular off-chain destinations for Bitcoins. More specifically, yield farming and MakerDAO adding tokenized Bitcoin as collateral are likely strong catalysts. So, I mean, this is just incredibly interesting. Like, I mean, it makes me kind of, like, validates the idea of Ethereum is a machine. It's a beast, right? It is still extremely undervalued, in my opinion, extremely undervalued. Go check out my video on Ethereum if you haven't seen it yet, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so now we're going to talk about two massive rallies that have happened, right? So first one is Vechain, and Vechain is doing really well, and they deserve to be doing really well. Right, so Vechain is an enterprise-focused blockchain ecosystem that aims to enhance supply chain management by connecting blockchain technologies with the real world through a comprehensive governance structure, a robust economic model, and advanced IoT integration. The Vechain Thor technology has been able to solve real-world problems in a wide range of industries, fueling a 600% rally in 3 months. 600% in 3 months. Check this out. Boom. Right? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this candle. Look at this. Boom. Huge. Look at this rally. Boom. Just a huge green candle. And it's because they have a ton of partnerships and they've been doing real things. So Vechain has entered into cooperation with Walmart China to track certain segments of food products using Vechain Thor blockchain. Vechain will be a keynote speaker at the world's largest artificial intelligence conference in Shanghai, 9th to 11th of July, and will be inviting top-of-the-line fintech enterprises, including Microsoft, Amazon, Alibaba, Tencent, and Huawei. So Vechain is super bullish in the long run. However, there might be some retracement because normally when you see a crazy, crazy green candle like this, there's a normal pullback. But from an investment perspective, like what I think is interesting is there probably will be a pullback here, right? And it might come to this resistance line here, which we would see at about, right now it's at 2 cents. So we're looking at about 0.008 cents. And I mean, I actually don't think it'll pull back that much, but I would keep an eye on this, right? So think about this. Let's say, I know Vechain is also working with Daimler Chrysler, which is like Mercedes. But let's say that Vechain goes and talks at this this conference, which is starting yesterday. Okay, so they're going to go there and they're going to make lots of relationships, right? And they're going to be sitting out meetings. And they're going to have meetings for the next month or so. And then they're going to talk about, then they're going to have to explain the technology to these big companies. And then I would say that probably in 1 to 3 months, you'll start to see more and more announcements coming from Vechain because they have so much traction and they're doing things well. If Mercedes and Walmart are already starting to test them out, like they are on the map. People are noticing them. So what I would be interested in doing, like I think Vechain is going to do extremely well in the next bull run. Like they already have done well. But what I'm going to be keeping my eye out for is a retracement and a good opportunity to buy back in. And I expect this to go very, 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 very parabolic in like 2 months. Okay, guys. And I also want to talk about something that's extremely important here, right? And so I just want you to watch this video. As you know, or may not know, I live in Copenhagen, Thailand. And a lot of my friends are here too in the crypto space. You know, Didi from the Bitcoin family, Carl the Moon, Chris Crypto, and a lot of other cool crypto people are here. And we're all pooling together to try to raise some money for this company called Happy Foods. It's actually not a company, it's just like a nonprofit organization. And check out this video here. And then I would love for anyone to please help contribute to this Happy Foods. I will match any type of money that comes in. You know, please just let me know if you contribute some funds. We'll provide some Bitcoin and other altcoin addresses in the description below. It's all transparent. You'll see us donating the money, everything like that. Or you can just contribute directly to the GoFund Me campaign here. I'll post a link as well in the description. And just let me know if you contributed, and I will be happy to match that. But here, check out this video in the meantime.
Dear fellow human beings, I'm Ollie from Norway. I've lived in Thailand for 5 years and 1 year on Copenhagen. I have years of experience as a captain in the UN peacekeeping forces dealing with crisis situations. We are deeply concerned about the current situation, leaving people on Kupanyang without money to buy food in the coming weeks and months. Myanmar people who have lost their income, Westerners like us running out of money, and Thais seeing their business. To do this, we are working closely with the Myanmar and Thai community, but we also need your support. It's time for us all to open our hearts and our wallets and do our best to make sure that we can all continue to enjoy life in peace and safety on Kupanyang. Please, please help us by donating money to our project. It will all be spent on food and basic supplies distributed by volunteers to people on the island who find themselves in a very difficult situation during the COVID lockdown. Thank you.
Okay, guys, so that was the video. And yeah, basically, you know, what happened is in Thailand, a lot of the help comes from Myanmar. And, you know, people come here over the border, maybe legal or not legal, you know, it doesn't matter. They're trying to get some money. And even though Thailand's cheap, you know, Myanmar has only recently opened the borders to the rest of the world, you know, very, very recently. And it's a very poor country. And so people come over here and to help with work. And when the borders got locked down, you know, all of these resorts stopped receiving customers, and restaurants stopped, and you know, so cleaning stopped, and cooking stopped, and all these services that they're providing. These people lost their jobs, and they're stuck here without any type of food or money. And so what we're trying to do is raise money for this organization called Happy Food, and they've done so far it's pretty well. Look, we've raised almost 1 million baht, which is almost $30,000. I know Didi did a campaign recently. Chris did a campaign. Carl's doing a campaign. I'm doing a campaign. My friend Jed, who runs Crypto Coin Traders Facebook group, is really the one who brought all this to our attention. And so huge shout out to him. But yeah, guys, please donate. It'd be amazing. Like I said, I would be happy to match any contributions up to, like, let's say $500. And let's get this rocket and rolling. It would be amazing. It's a really great cause. So please feel free to help out. It'd be great. And would love to have you guys come here and join us. You know, we're building House of DAO. It's going to be a beautiful blockchain crypto community. And we really want to help the people who are helping us. And yeah, anyway, guys, thank you so much. I would appreciate a you know, just smashing the like, hit the bell. And your subscriptions mean everything to me. I really want to get this news out. Please spread it. You know, I'm here because I'm passionate about seeing the space adopt decentralization as an idea, as a system, as a governance model. Yeah, guys, thank you so much. Kap kun kap. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon.